Welcome back to Breakfast Central. We'll now be reviewing the papers. We have our public affairs analyst, Professor Nnah, joining us this morning. Good morning, Professor Nnah. Thank you for being here.
Prof.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Very well, thank you.
Prof just got back from abroad. You can see
IJGB.
in his countenance.
In it, fam. Welcome back, Prof. All right, let's get to the Punch newspaper and see what the headlines are saying on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. The big story we're seeing there, terror threats. Senate, Zulum demands swift action from Tinubu. Boko Haram better equipped than military, Borno governor. That's, of course, referencing the interview that we had yesterday on Breakfast Central with Professor Nnah Zulum. Foreign terrorists infiltrating Nigeria, Senate says president should listen to army, not politicians, Zulum says. And we also have JAB reviews 379,000 UTME receipt results. Petrol price war closes nearly 5,000 fuel stations. Salary crisis, federal government plans intervention funds for 109 foreign nations. Germany warns Nigeria, neighbors against Russia alliance. Lagos seeks justice for 3,215 abused children in 2024. Nigeria spends $2 billion on external debt in 4 months. And of course, we'll start with the story about the Senate and Professor Zulum demanding swift action from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yesterday, on this show, we interviewed the governor of Borno State. I don't know if you saw the interview yesterday. And there are a number of things that he said. He talked about the equipment, Boko Haram using sophisticated equipment. He talked about the president saying the president shouldn't listen to people who don't know their left from their right. He should listen to, the army. He applauded the army. And the president, the Borno State governor, has been in the thick of it. He's been visiting these communities that have been affected from Mate to Wigo. He's slept in these communities with the military just to boost their morale and let them know that they're not alone in the fight. So he's been at the forefront with them. But let's get your thoughts on, our fight against insecurity.
To add to what you said, I think last week it was reported that his convoy was attacked while he was coming back from one of the villages. Well, it's been there for a long time. I think when it started, we thought it was something that was going to vanish in a matter of days or weeks. But today, they have grown in widths and bounds. And like the governor said, I think they have more sophisticated weapons than the military. The Senate should get serious. Why am I saying so? Instead of deliberating on trivial matters, like, people that didn't vote will be jailed or will be arrested. I don't know how they're going to do
but
that.
the Senate, in fairness to them, they're proposing a security summit. How do you react to that?
Proposal. You see, the problem we have in this country is not about proposals. It's not about even policies.
The Senate wants to have its own security summit.
We're saying the same thing. The problem in this country has not been summits. It has not been policies. It has been implementation of those policies. We've had a lot of policies. We have a lot of laws that are not going to be implemented, and they are not trying to implement. Like the one I just mentioned. How are they going to enforce that law? Now, look at it's the security that even the governor is complaining bitterly. And every day, even the media is downplaying what is going on. Because if you read what is going on social media concerning that Borno State, you know that those guys are in their need of help. And the military, they have come out to say, look, we need more assistance from federal government to tackle these people. And you see, when the former administration was saying that they will, some people will confess that they are now born again, you will now debrief them and recruit them in the army. They are the guys giving intel to their colleagues out there. You discover that at times these military guys are ambushed. How do those people get information? It's because there are insiders, there are moles within the military that's giving them information. And who are those moles? Those guys that were recruited into the army. Somebody is a terrorist, and you say he has repented, and because he has repented, you now recruit the person.
Well, they say it's part of the non-kinetic, strategy.
But the governor also alluded to the fact that the reason why we have a spike in terror attacks is because of the way that program has been carried out.
But brother, let's look at it. Let's look at it from the right perspective. Now, you are a terrorist, and you're making like $5,000 a week, and they now recruit you in the military, where you're making 500,000 in a month.
Is it even up to 500,000?
No, I'm just using hypothetical.
Okay.
Right.
Now, what do you think? So these guys feel that no, this thing is not paying, so they go back to where they are coming from. That's what's going on. You discover that if you do a census, you discover that most of the people they said have repented have gone back to their trades. That's happening. So I don't know who gave them that idea. I don't know who gave them that idea that the terrorists will repent and become. No, it's 1 in 1,000. For crying out loud, it's 1 in 1,000. It's not possible. Because these people are radicalized. If you know the kind of training they give them there, at least from people that have come out from that place, will tell you the kind of radicalization that's going on there. It's not something you come within 2-3 months, you just say that they have repented and you give them uniform and say they are recruited into the army. I mean, that's nonsense as far as I'm concerned.
So what will be the alternative? I mean, we have to consider human rights.
See, let's get back. You see, that's where we get it wrong. It's okay. Look at it this way. Now, a headsman goes to a farm, kills somebody. There's no human rights. Now, the person you are trying to kill collects a knife from you and kills you. There's human rights. What are we talking here? We have a case in point that even the international media are wash about.
Yeah, there's a saying.
The guy that they were about to kill, he collected a knife and killed the guy, and you want to hang the guy. What are we talking about? What human rights are we talking about?
Issues of miscarriage of justice. And there's a saying that an eye for an eye makes the world blind.
See, like I was trying to say, now, during the Jonathan regime, missionaries were brought. And these guys always decimated these people. And somebody just came from the blues and said, no, we're not going to have these guys again. And they sent them away. That is why we are where we are today. If they had allowed those missionaries there, they would have decimated this Boko Haram. And by now, we would have been talking of something else.
The Obama administration, under its Leahy laws, refused to sell Lethal, the Super Tucanos, to Nigeria then, citing humanitarian and human rights abuses.
We know better now. At least Trump has debunked those things. We know better. We know where they were coming from. They wanted us to buy the same-sex marriage. It's as simple as that.
Well, that's still alleged.
That's what they wanted us to buy. And when Jonathan refused to buy that, they now came up with all manner of things.
Anyway, let's look at another story so we don't waste so much time on that story. Let's look at another one still on the Punch. There's a lot. Petrol price war closes nearly 5,000 fuel stations. Petrol price war closes nearly 5,000 fuel stations. Salary crisis, federal government plans intervention funds for 109 foreign missions. But I want us to focus on petrol price war. Over 5,000 fuel stations we hear are, closed.
Because they can't afford the new pump price or what? I don't know the reason why they are closed.
They can't keep up with competition.
They can't keep up with competition because there's petrol everywhere.
Yeah, you see, we thank there's petrol everywhere.
Yes.
Okay, we thank God for the Dangotes of this world. But when he came in, looking at his trajectory, you see, he's a monopolist to the core. And give him some time, he will take over that industry. Because that's what he's been doing. I just pray that this one will favor the masses. Because all along, it has been enter a particular trade and muzzle every other person that is in that business and takes over. Now, in the cement industry today, apart from Boa, that is standing up to him, and they had to even go both to Aso Rock and to the north, to their emirs, for this rift to be settled. Now, otherwise, he wanted to go so high, and Boa was insisting, no, we cannot do that. So he felt maybe Boa was trying to spoil business for him. So he's a monopolist to the core. I just pray, like I said earlier, that what he's doing now, they will not send an NPC out of business and they will monopolize the place. And then that's where the man in him will come out. We have not seen anything yet. He's just testing the waters. So once he gets to where he wants to go now, you'll see him come out in full swing. That has been his modus operandi. From all other businesses he has been operating in this country.
But I think, I mean, for the fact that it's sad. Okay, yeah, we do. Let's take this call.
Good morning, Elder David.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning, sir. Please go ahead.
Good morning, ma. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you today?
Elder David, your audio is really low. Can you please speak up?
Who are those recruiting those? They call them repentant Boko Haram. How are they repentant? If they are repentant, then the IPOD is security this thing they are arrested it should equally be recruited who are repentant as well. Yes. It's not the president, but those people are equally involved in recommending them to be recruited into the army. They are the problem of this country. They are the ones giving information. If Nigeria is fighting another country, Nigeria have the best army we can think of. They fight in Congo and everywhere. We have the best security units. It's an internal fight where you have people in the village and others buy arms for all these people. All these are political. This is what I've been saying. And the politicians that are doing all these things, recommending those people, before they discover that a repentant Boko Haram, somebody have recommended for a high places in order to obstruct this government. If government is doing his best, how will the president know about it? Those are things I'm talking about. We should be very careful in this country. And where the area will...
Thank you so much, Elder David. I think your points have been made. Let's still look at the front pages very quickly. I'd like us to look at Daily Independent. That should be the next paper we want to look at, Daily Independent. Finally, much touted coalition to unseatable peaks, ADC. We just spoke about this with a guest who joined us from the All Progressives Congress, and he said it's looking like an arrangement that is dead on arrival because these three political powers do not have any likening to make it work. What's your take on this much touted coalition?
Well, let me start this way. Now, the way things are panning out, it looks as if APC is winning now. But I can tell you for free, and you can go to the bank with it. 24 hours is a long time in politics. Very long time in politics. There's going to be implosion in APC. The parties that are trying to form coalition, I've not seen their seriousness yet. If they are serious, we will know. For now, they are just playing to the gallery. However, we need to be very careful because a one-party state might not augur well for this country. It was tried before. You know, we forget easily. I've said this severally, maybe on radio and one other television house, that we forget easily. If we don't forget easily, we will not forget what happened in 1983. It was the same thing that played out. MPN then wanted to take everywhere, including places he didn't win. Shagari then didn't win. It happened in Imo because then there was no Abia. It happened in Anambra. It happened in Ondo, the Mobrowo saga. That was what led to the military coming back. The politicians don't learn anything. Because if they do, they won't be doing what they are doing now. Because that's exactly what played out in 1983.
But they'll tell you that there was a point in this country where PDP controlled most states of the federation, even the Southwest, apart from Lagos State. So it's not a new thing.
Yeah, it's not new per se, but if you look at the style that Obasanjo used, it's the same style they are using now. Because what Obasanjo was doing then was the guy at the EFCC, the first EFCC chairman, will go after you, and the next minute you come over to PDP. It's something that's happening now. Fortunately, the guy is NSA now, so they're using the same modus operandi. You see, they go after you. Look at Okoa. How many times did he go to EFCC? The next thing, and don't forget, when Comrade Shomole, now Senator Shomole, was the chairman of APC, he said, if you are a sinner, If you come over to APC, you become a saint. And Senator Sani said, if APC wants to treat corrupt people from their party, they use deodorants. If they want to treat corrupt people from other political parties, they use insecticides. So you see, it is something that is playing out.
Deodorant is not expensive, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
To say.
Very expensive.
Very expensive, but insecticide is more killing.
Nnah slams federal government over sharing formula for 50 billion naira end allowances. This has to do with the SANU and NASU and NANT. I mean, the government approved 50 billion naira, and the sharing formula was that 80% would go, 80. Yes, 20% to the other three bodies.
It's going to create a problem because in the university system, the SANU has been fighting that the lecturers take it all. That that's a non-tutorial staff that they are not taken care of in the scheme of things. And this sharing formula now will create some problems again. I just pray that they will not down their tools again, because if they do, it's going to be too bad.
It's going to
be too bad.
Yeah,
I just pray they don't.
Okay. There's another one I'd like us to take before I hand over to Oliver Benga.
Yeah.
Ajero's NLC behind LP's woes, not federal government, says Abure faction. Just yesterday, we took the report, this one, and also talked about it. Joe Ajero, president of the Nigeria Labour Congress. Exactly. I'm sure you're also aware of what he said. He talked about the federal, the government and government agencies ensuring that they hands off anything concerning the Labour Party. It also talked about the factions. But this morning on Daily Independent, Julius Abure has responded by saying that Ajero is even behind the woes of the party.
I don't know how he is, but there are a lot of people creating the problem. And Abure himself is a major problem in that party. And the Supreme Court is not helping matters, because telling them to go and resolve your problem. Yeah, I understand. I'm not a lawyer, but I understand from lawyers that, well, leadership is a political affair, so the political parties should handle it. But where some of us are blaming the Supreme Court is that same lawyer said that tenorship is not a political thing, it's a legal issue. So they would have made pronouncement on the tenorship of, what do you call him, Ajero. Sorry, not Ajero, Abure. Now, if they had mentioned that his tenure has expired, peradventure, we won't be where we are today. So I think the Supreme Court is not helping matters. They pick and choose which judgment to give, and it's not good for this economy.
Maybe they should go back for interpretation or file another lawsuit with the Supreme Court.
Maybe, because I listened to one lawyer, he was representing the APGA when they had their leadership problem. He said what he expects Labour Party to do is to go back to court, ask for the court to make a pronouncement on the tenure of Abure. Maybe that will settle the matter.
That'll be more clear.
You're still talking about Abure. There's an Apapa there somewhere.
No, Apapa is a mold. Don't mind about it. He's a mold. They are just using him to destabilize the party. Right from the war, they have been using him. Everybody knows himself and
who is using
one from.
But he said he's the longest serving member of the Labour Party. Even he was there even right before.
From his looks, you can tell.
And so he's the longest member. But what has he been achieving? He's been creating problem. Himself and Arabambi also. Two of them have been the people creating the problem in Labour. I don't mind much about that, and they know it. They know it. Even during the election, you saw the problem they brought to bear. Now, Ajero has, why am I always calling Ajero? Abure has added to the problem. So, but what I'm seeing is that, you see, in 2023, they said Labour did not have structures. And before then, Labour had only won one state, and the man later moved over to APC, and that was Comrade Oshomole. Recall that in his tenure in Edo State, he won the election through the Labour Party, but he later moved over to APC. So since then, APC has been in the doldrums until 2023, when somebody came and moved the movement. Labour is a movement. So if the movement leaves, if the person that created the movement leaves Labour, Labour is still on arrival.
So are you saying that Labour Party should Mr. Peter Obi join this coalition to the APC?
Or another party.
Or another party, yeah.
If Peter Obi leaves Labour today, Obi didn't leave Labour, and Labour is gone. And let me tell you one other thing. If Obi becomes the vice presidential candidate of Atiku, as they are saying, the Bident might leave Obi. So he has to be very careful in making his choice.
Okay.
He has to be extremely very careful.
Now, moving on to the leadership newspaper, the headline there says, cut interest rate now, manufacturers beg CBN. And there's outcry over soldiers, politicians' involvement. CSO security experts wants terrorist informants. Yeah, that's the headline. Outcry over soldiers, politicians' involvement. CSOs, security experts want bad eggs flushed out, says information leak, emboldening terrorists. That's a very sad one. And some good news here. JAM to conduct mop-up exam for absentees. So if you missed your JAM exams for one reason or the other, you have the opportunity to resit. NACON airlifts 33,689 pilgrims to Saudi Arabia. Prof, what do you make of the government saying that, you know, still airlifting, subsidizing pilgrimages to the Holy Land, Saudi and Israel? I believe all lands are holy. You can pray in Nigeria and your prayers will still be answered. They said this monies could be channeled into capital projects and all that, and health and education. Are you pro or against government paying for your spiritual journey?
I'm against that. You see, if you want to go and pray, you don't need to be paid to go and pray. You pay your money and go and pray. You are praying for your own upliftment or whatever. So this has been a recurring decimal. Government in, government out. It didn't start today.
And this money is running to billions of naira.
Yes, now it didn't start today.
Fund your faith by yourself.
Yes, I mean, there's complaining.
Lagos Ibadan Expressway, there's NASFAT, there's MFM, there's Redeem. You can choose any of the Holy Land.
Pray, just like our leaders are going for medical tourism. We have hospitals here they could go to. One of our leaders spent billions building one hospital. He had just a sprain on his leg and he traveled abroad and left the billion, the specialist hospital he built in his state when he was governor. So I don't even know where we're going from. A Ugandan
politician did a Thanksgiving. He had cancer, then went into remission, went to hospital in Germany, was there for months. When he came back, he built a church. But that's
he built a church,
yes,
and not a hospital.
He built a church.
That's the mentality of Africa.
But let's look into.
Mali said we should be taken out from slavery mentality. That mentality is there.
So which Mali? Bob Mali or Naira Mali?
Bob Mali, no, Bob Mali.
Okay, we need to be sure which Mali you are talking about.
Bob Mali, please.
Naira gains 8.23 Naira after CBN interest rates hold. So, yeah, positive news there. And Wike defends 1.78 trillion FCT 2025 budget before the National Assembly. And that's what we have on the front page of the leadership. Well, and also, cool rumors cause anxiety in Côte d'Ivoire. We've seen the story on social media, but we're yet to get clear details on events there, so we can actually live that. FG offers hope of homes in 753 duplex estate. And also, Nigerians can lose $11 billion annually to digital skills gap. I mean, the current type of education, the 21st century professional needs to be digitally savvy and be equipped with information technology as
You
to be
don't think so?
competitive
That is
in
it.
the labor
Today,
market. But how many public hospitals, even public schools, have computers? How many of the students have computers?
the private schools do.
Yes.
But the public schools, I don't know. I don't know how many.
The public schools might have, they draw it on the wall and say, what is this? It is a mouse.
But the private schools do have computers, because we have some of our children in the public schools and they do have a lot of computers.
Okay.
I wanted to comment on two issues.
Yes, please.
One is the budget by
FCT minister.
minister.
1.78 trillion.
I think the FCT minister is doing a yeoman's job in Abuja. Forget the
Politics.
the political aspect of his life. Let's focus on the infrastructure aspect of his life. I think he's doing a yeoman's job, because if you go to Abuja now, you will see a lot of things that he's doing. And I think if he has actually attached projects to the money that he wants to spend, he should be given that money to continue with what he's doing.
Absolutely.
The other issue of the flat, the duplexes, that's
754, yeah?
yes, and owned by the former CBN governor. I've read so many things about it, but the one that fascinates me was the man that said the federal government should have acquired that thing and given it to civil servants.
Well, they say
better.
So they've given it to the Ministry of Housing, and I guess we're just waiting to see how the Ministry of Housing will handle this. If they're going to give it to civil servants,
if they want to sell it, they will sell it to themselves.
Well, so let's not preempt them. Let's wait to see what they decide to do with this house.
You should give it to journalists.
Professor Nnah, thank you for joining us this morning on Breakfast Central.
Always my pleasure.